Americans owe $700 billion in car loans, more than $800 billion on our credit cards. But student debt now tops $1 trillion. And it's not just weighing down the 37 million former students who owe it, but the whole economy.
$125 billion. That's the amount owed by Americans in long-term default on federal student loans. And as they ignore letters, phone calls, and debt collectors, the government is desperately trying to figure out what will motivate them to start paying some of it back.
Because our leaders have decided that while education is incredibly important, it is not important enough to actually pay for. So, with that in mind, let me speak right now to all current freshmen in college. Please make sure your college years are the best ones of your life, because thanks to the debt that we are saddling you with, they almost certainly will be. Get out there and do it! Go nuts! Go crazy!
Who are damaging their credit. They can't buy cars, they can't buy houses, they can't move to better jobs. And so the concern here is that this is kind of like people who went through foreclosure in the housing crisis, where it's just a cohort that presents a drag on the economy. The problem is that there isn't really a foreclosure process here. Most people with student debt don't have bankruptcy as an option.
Not only can you not go to Chapter 7 bankruptcy, which is a discharge of your debt, you can't go to Chapter 13 bankruptcy, which is just a restructuring of your debt. So essentially refinancing. You go into massive amounts of debt just to get an education that you need as a prerequisite to get a job, and then spend the rest of your life paying off that educational debt. There's got to be a better way.
Slovenia is a magical fairyland, home to the rarest of mythical creatures. A college student with no debt.
How much debt do you have here being a student?
None.
None. It's free.
Slovenia is one of dozens of countries where it is essentially free to go to university.
Everybody in this country, regardless of their income, if they have the ability, they're going to get a college education. And today I just introduced legislation that would make public colleges and universities tuition-free.
Where's the money going to come from?
A tax on Wall Street speculation, and that's exactly where it should come
Talk
from.
about that. What does that mean, a tax on Wall Street speculation?
What it means is, right now, you have people who are becoming phenomenally wealthy by speculating in derivatives and every other type of esoteric instrument that they can. People are getting very rich on Wall Street. What we're going to impose is what exists in dozens of countries around the world, a very modest tax on the transference of large amounts of...
But in the capital, Berlin, the top destination for US students, politicians insist that college education should be a right and not a privilege. And experts say there's an economic benefit for Germany too. If 40% of graduates stay in the country for 5 years, Germany recovers its costs.
Keeping international students who have studied in the country is the ideal way of immigration, because they have certificates which are needed. They don't have a language problem at the end of their stay, and they know the culture.